Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tekfen 2020 first quarter results conference call. I will now hand over to Tele. Please, sir, go ahead.
Thank you, Lydia, and welcome to Tekfen Holding first quarter 2020 results call. Because of the COVID outbreak, we are all at home and joining through our cell or landlines. So there might be some problems with the sound quality. Sorry for the inconvenience in advance. And now we have all top management joining us to answer any of your questions. Lydia, please take the first question. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Q&A session starts now. If you wish to ask a question, please press 01 on your telephone keypad. Thank you until we have our first question. The first question comes from Selim Kanter from AK Investment. Please go ahead.
Hi everyone, thank you for the opportunity. I was just wondering what the real cause of the weak contracting margins in the first quarter, and I see that you already revised down your guidance for the year, but should we expect, if this was a cost overrun, should we expect further impact in the coming quarters? And secondly, if I may, I was wondering if you had any supply or procurement problems during the COVID-19 outbreak. Thank you.
Thank you very much for asking. COVID-19 effects for this quarter is not as all. Some of the projects were affected, and due to client's instruction, about total 5 projects has been stopped in different countries together with the Turkey, and that effect has been recorded. And top of it, in one of our projects, which is design and build, due to the design change of the client requirements, and lately informed, and the calculation has been made accordingly, and it seems a loss in that project. And the third one, due to existing conditions, which we were expecting to have some of the projects to be awarded to us, has been taken out from our guidance for this year. It doesn't mean it will not be realized, but for the time being, we have in a safe side to take out those expected projects income and the profit from this year. COVID-19 effects for the existing running projects has not been calculated yet, as you appreciated, and the effect has not been materialized concretely yet. We will be able to share with you if there will be further cost effects to our projects after the June, after the first half. And the second question, logistics and the transportation. Yes, for some of the projects, we are feeling the effect of those transportation and logistics not properly working right at the moment. but it is on and off basis. It is not able to make the calculation yet because today is off. After 2 days again start the operation. It is difficult for the time being to make the calculation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, in order to ask a question, please press 01 on your telephone keypad. The next question comes from Ating Oskan from Wood & Co. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the presentation. 2 questions, please. The first one is, can you give us some more granular color, please, given that this is the second quarter on a row, your contracting and engineering division is missing its guidance and forcing you to cut your annual guidance. I believe in the last quarter of 2019, you had a $30 million provision regarding a particular project. Was any of the hit on the first quarter contracting margins was also related to the same project? If yes, can you specify which project? And my second question is, I haven't seen that, but can you provide us some guidance on your CapEx or investment budget as part of your overall guidance for full year? You were planning to acquire a 10% stake in Sokar Polymer. Is this still on the agenda, or is it possible to postpone it to next year given the pressure on your cash flow from the contracting division? Thank you.
For your first question, the guidance has not been able to given for the time being, as I explained previously, because the COVID effect has not been cleared for us, and what will be the effect and what will be the precautions and what will be the compensations to be that we will be faced. Regarding the 32 million, it's not valid anymore yet, but based on the calculation that we are doing right at the moment, as much as possible, maybe we will be putting some of the contingencies for the second quarter of the year. And if you understand us and appreciate that, I do not want to share the name of the project for the time being. Name of the project. Thank you very much for the first question. For the second question, I think Cahit Bey will reply it.
Cahit Bey, we cannot hear you.
Sorry. This is Cahit Oklap. I would like to answer your second question. As you probably know, we have taken over 10%, 5 plus 5% from 2 different shareholders. And the 5%, the first shareholder is already affected. Payment has been affected. Since we have signed contracts with regard to this buying of the shares, we are obliged to honor our obligations. So the second 5% will be within this month most probably, and the rest of 50 billion will be paid. So 50 million effect is already in our first quarter results. Thank you.
And if you could provide some color on the overall investment and CapEx budget, excluding the stake acquisition at Sokar Polymer for the current year, I would be grateful. Thank you.
Now, as you probably know, although somebody may ask, but let me just explain you our second and probably the biggest plan on investing in a propane dehydrogenation and polypropylene plant project, which for the time being, given the uncertainty in the market and the effect or the negative impacts of COVID-19 to the local and global economy, we have decided to wait and see how the markets are going to react and whether we could raise enough financing for that project. As you know, this was a multinational investment. We had foreigner investors together with us, but this project is going to be internally worked out, but we are not going to affect or take any action regarding an investment. So in this respect, this project will have no CapEx, the PV project for the time being, until we see, we have a clear picture of the situation. As far as in general investments are concerned, we have decided to quit all investments other than those which are necessary for debottlenecking and for the continuation of our existing plants, plantations, etc. So it will be in that region only, and it will be very modest in this respect. Thank you.
Very helpful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question comes from Cevuz Virdal from PAM. Please go ahead.
Hi, thanks for the call. I just want to get a clarification regarding the contracting segments write-offs in the first quarter. Maybe you mentioned, but did you mention the project and the amount? And if not, could you give more color regarding the project amount and the reason behind that? And will there be further write-offs for that project or for, I don't know which project is it? This is the first question. And the second question is regarding the new project outlook. I mean, now the backlog is 1.4 and it's almost 200 is ASFAN, so almost 1.2. So how should we consider the backlog outlook for the remainder of the year or the next year? Thanks a lot.
Regarding the write-off, it comes from the two projects. One of them, the completed one, which the defect and the warranty period cost was more than that we have expected, and we are talking with client merchants, but there is no expectation to recover it. And the second one, as I told you, as I explained before, it's the design and build project. Lately, comments of the client has been calculated once more, and that calculation effect came about the beginning of this year and the effect of this quarter, that write-off. And we do not expect a further write-off, but I have to put the clarification that it is about more than 70% of the project right at the moment, and all the design is more or less clear. But you know, sometimes client requirement is out of our control, and the additions will be asked to compensate, but nowadays the client's behavior is very tight due to that COVID-19. Everybody is expected as a client and a contractor. This is a question mark for us, and I would like to make the small comment on this further write-off. And for the backlog, yes, everybody is pull the brake and slow down and making the strategy, reviewing the strategy once more in accordance with the existing situation. But meantime, I have to be clear and honest with you that right at the moment, in 3 months, altogether as a contracting group, we have been given about between 40 and 50 tenders to the different clients in all over the world, and about $4 billion altogether tender value. We never and ever lose our hopes. We are following, and we are very keen to get project in 2020. But meantime, based on the existing conditions to be in the safe side, we withdraw from our guidance of year 2020 with profit margin of the expected awarded to be awarded contract. That is right at the moment I can share with you.
Thank you. And I've also seen in Alcor project size is increased to 170 in this quarter. Is it accounting issue, or yes, this project has the size is increased? Because last quarter that number was lower, the backlog.
No, the project has not been, the value of the project has not been increased. It could be the case of the shifting the period number. That is the things. Our expectation and the projected profit of the project, our core project, is still same. Nothing changed.
No, I know that part, but the backlog as of year end, the Alcor project was 62 million.
I misunderstood. Sorry, I misunderstood. Now I'm with you. Yeah, there are some site instructions and the variation of the amount of that site and the variation orders effect is that about this amount. Is that amount?
So did you revise the margin of the project because it is coming to the completion, or will you make the final adjustment at the end of the year? Or
we will make the final adjustment after this. We will make the final adjustment after the first half of the year. Not right.
The budget is including is the budget including these adjustments, or there could be some positive or negative surprises at the end?
We do not expect any negative surprises. Okay, and the positive surprises will be surprise for you.
Okay, and are you sharing the margin at the moment? Is it 10%?
No, it is not. No, I cannot share because we do not know the COVID effect of this project. We have to make the calculation all together, pluses and minuses. But what we see right at the moment, our guidance is guidance for that project.
Thank you very much and have a good day.
Thank you very much. Also to you. Bye.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, in order to ask a question, please press 01 on your telephone keypad. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to ask a question to our speakers, please press 01 on your telephone keypad. Thank you.
The moderator has been notified of your request. Please wait.
We have a question from Kubilay Akasan, a private investor. Please go ahead.
Thank you for questions. I have two questions. First one is about the number of the workers on construction sites. When we look at the previous quarter, the worker numbers approximately 15,191, and this quarter is a little bit more. My question is, what is the reason? Because the backlog is decreasing, but number of the workers is increasing. Is there any reason for this? The second one is about the Russian project. Russian project value is less than the beginning. I think approximately more than $40 million. What is the reason? These are my questions. Thank you.
Levent Bey, there is no sound, I guess.
Now?
Yes, please.
Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for the questions. Let me give the answer for your first question. The reason of the increase of manpower is, as I tried to explain previously, in one of our project design change is increased the quantities of the some of the scope items, and we have to recover, we have to try to catch the end date of the project for increase of the quantities of some of the activities required the additional manpower, and we supply the additional manpower for this project. But could you be kind enough to repeat your second question, because I did not clearly get what the request was.
The second question was about the Karampur gas site, the Russian project. The value of the project is less than before. If you look at the previous backlog, we will see different value. What is the reason? Because the
okay, now I get it. There are two things affect this the total project value. One of them is the VAT, because the first given number was included the VAT, and the second, as you well know, there are exchange rate changes, parameter for the between dollar and the ruble. There was a devaluations, and that devaluations effect plus the VAT made the that change.
Okay, the margin changed or still same for this project?
Sorry?
Margin of the project.
Sorry, say that.
The
margin of this project right at the moment. Okay, I got it. The margin has not been changed yet, but as I made a comment for the before, For the other projects, operation, which are under the operation, which Russian one is included, the COVID-19 effects has not been calculated. Will it be or not? That one will be calculated till the end of the first half of the year. Minus, if there will be any minus effect, it will be recorded accordingly. We are not able to give any guidance right at the moment, for the time being. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The last question about the polypropylene investments. Of course, the Cahit Bey explained something, but my question is, if the feasibility reports will be okay, the boards will decide the start of the project. My question, the board of the company is on same side for this project. My question is this.
Hello, this is Cahit Oklap. I would try to answer your question. Now, I don't understand from where you have got this impression that the board of the company would not be in the same side. It is, at the end of the day, in Tekfen's culture, in the 65 years, our board has always taken decisions unanimously. And should the project be found feasible with calculations, and the feasibility report shows that it is feasible, and should the board, having seen the financial and economical situation of the world and the appetite of the financing institutions to finance projects of that size in Turkey, of course, at the end of the day, it would be board's unanimous and sole discretion to say go or no go. But as I said, although the internal investigations, market studies, feasibility studies, license evaluations are going on and will go on, the management would present the project to the board only at the time that management would be, how should I say, would see that indeed this project could be financed there is enough appetite with reasonable financing costs to the project. Then we would put the resolution in front of our board, and they will decide.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, in order to ask a question, please press 01 on your telephone keypad. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, if you would like to intervene in the call, please press 01 on your telephone keypad. Thank you. There are no further questions in the conference call. I will now give back the floor to our speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for participating in our call. That concludes our call today, and stay home, stay safe, and have a nice day and weekend. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's conference call. Thank you all for your participation. You may now disconnect your lines.